are the Reader's Theater team from Trinity Christian Academy, and today we will be performing James and the Giant Peach by Roald Dahl.
Look!
Cried the centipede, just as they were finishing their meal.
Look at that funny thin black thing gliding through the water over there.
They all swung around to look.
There are 2 of them,
Said the spider.
There are lots of them.
Said the ladybug.
What are they?
Asked the earthworm, getting worried.
They must be some kind of fish.
Said the old green grasshopper.
Perhaps they've come along to say hello.
They are sharks!
Cried the earthworm.
I bet you anything you like that they are sharks and they have come along to eat us up! What absolute rot.
The centipede said. But his voice suddenly seemed to have become a little shaky. And he wasn't laughing.
I'm positive they are sharks!
Cried the earthworm.
I just know they are sharks!
And so, in actual fact, did everybody else, but they were too afraid to admit it. There was a short silence. They all peered down at the sharks, cruising slowly round and round the beach.
Just assuming that they are sharks,
The centipede said.
there still can't possibly be any danger if we stay up here.
But even as he spoke, one of those thin black fins suddenly changed direction and came cutting swiftly right into the side of the peach itself. The shark paused and stared up at the company with small, evil eyes.
Go away!
They shouted.
Go away, filthy beast!
Slowly, almost lazily, the shark opened its mouth, which was big enough to swallow a perambulator, and made a lunge at the peach. They all watched it gasped, and now, as though at a signal from the leader, all the other sharks came swimming in toward the peach. They clustered around it and began to attack furiously. There must have been 20 or 30 of them at least, all pushing and fighting and lashing their tails, churning the water into a froth. Panic and pandemonium broke out immediately on top of the peach.
Oh, we're finished now!
Cried Miss Spider, wringing her feet.
They'll eat up the whole peach, and then we'll have nothing left for us to stand on. And then they'll start on us! She's right!
Shouted the ladybug.
We are lost forever!
Oh, I don't want to be eaten! But they will start on me first because I am so fat and juicy and have no bones!
Is there nothing we can do?
Asked the ladybug, appealing to James.
Surely you can think of a way out of this.
Suddenly, they were all looking at James.
Think!
Begged Miss Spider.
Think, James, think!
Come on!
Said the centipede.
Come on, James, there must be something we can do!
Their eyes waited upon him, tense, anxious, pathetically hopeful.
Well, there is something that I believe we might try.
James Henry Trotter said slowly.
I'm not saying it'll work.
Tell
Cried
us!
the earthworm.
Tell us quick! We'll try anything you say.
Said the centipede.
But hurry, hurry, hurry!
Be quiet and let the boy speak.
Said the ladybug.
Go on, James.
They all moved a little closer to him, and there was a longish pause.
Go on!
They all cried frantically.
Go on!
And all the while they were waiting, they could hear the sharks thrashing around in the water below them. It was enough to make anyone frantic,
Come on, James.
said the ladybug.
I'm afraid it's no good after all.
James murmured, shaking his head.
I'm terribly sorry. I forgot. We don't have any string. We'd need hundreds of yards of string to make this work.
What sort of string?
Well, any kind. Just so long as it's strong.
But my dear boy, that's exactly what we do have.
As much as you want.
And would it be strong?
The strongest there is, as thick as your finger. But why? What are you going to do?
I'm gonna lift this peach clear out of the water.
James announced firmly.
You're mad!
Cried the earthworm.
It's our only chance.
That boy is crazy!
He's choking!
Go on, James.
The ladybug said coaxingly.
Well, I think that what we should do is we should take a long string,
James went on.
and I'm gonna loop one end around the seagull's neck, and then I'm gonna tie the other end to the stem of the peach.
He pointed to the peach stem, which was sticking up in the middle of the deck like a short, thick mast.
And then I'm gonna get another seagull and do the same thing again. And then another, and another.
Ridiculous!
Absurd!
Madness!
How are you seagulls going to lift an enormous thing like this up into the sky with all of us in it as well? It would take hundreds, thousands.
Well, there's no shortage of seagulls.
James answered.
Just look for yourself. We probably need...
400.
500.
600.
Maybe even 1,000.
I don't know. I should simply go on hooking them up until there's enough to lift us. They'll be bound to lift us in the end. It's like balloons. You give someone enough to hold, and I mean really enough, then up he goes. And a seagull has far more lifting power than a balloon. If only we have time to do it. If only we're not sunk first by those awful sharks.
You're absolutely off your head.
cried the earthworm.
How do you suppose to get a loop of string around a seagull's neck? I guess you're going to go out there yourself and catch it.
The boy's dotty.
Said the centipede.
Let him finish.
Said the ladybug.
Go on, James. How are you going to do it?
With bait.
Bait? What sort of bait?
Well, with a worm, of course.
Oh?
Seagulls love worms, didn't you know that? And lucky for us, we have the biggest, fattest, pinkest, juiciest earthworm in the world.
You can stop right there.
The earthworm said sharply.
That's quite enough.
Go on.
The other said, beginning to grow interested.
Go on.
Well, the seagulls have already spotted him. That's why there's so many circling around him there. But they don't dare come down here while the rest of us are standing up here. So this is what we're gonna do.
Stop, stop, stop. I won't have it. I refuse.
Be quiet!
Someone said.
Mind your own business.
I like that.
My dear earthworm, you're gonna be eaten anyways, so what does it matter whether it's sharks or seagulls?
I won't do it.
Cried the earthworm.
Why don't we hear what the plan is first?
I don't give a hoot what the plan is. I shall not be pecked to death by a bunch of seagulls.
You'll be a martyr.
The centipede said.
I shall respect you for the rest of my life.
And so will I. And your name will be in all the papers. Earthworm gives life to save for you.
But he won't have to give his life. Now listen here. This is what we're gonna do.
Why, it's absolutely brilliant.
The boy's a genius.
Announced the centipede.
Now I can keep my boots on after all.
Oh, I shall be pecked to death.
Of course you won't.
I will. And I won't even see them coming at me because I have no eyes.
I won't let them touch you. I promise I won't. But we've got to hurry, because look down there.
There were more sharks than ever now in the peach. The water was boiling with them. There must have been 90 or 100 at least. And to the travelers up on top, it certainly seemed as if the peach was sinking lower and lower into the water.
Action stations!
James shouted.
Jump to it, everyone. There's not a moment to lose.
In a few moments, everything was ready.
Here comes the first seagull. Keep still now, earthworm. Keep still. The rest of you, get ready to pull.
Please don't let it spike me.
I won't. Now, shh.
At the corner of one eye, James watched as the seagull came swooping down toward the earthworm. And then suddenly, it was so close that he could see its small black eyes and its sharp curved beak. And the beak was open, ready to grab a nice piece of juicy flesh out of the earthworm's back.
Pull!
James shouted. The old green grasshopper and the ladybug gave the earthworm's tail an enormous tug. And like magic, the earthworm disappeared into the tunnel. At the same time, up went James's hand, holding up a loop of string, and the seagull flew right into it. The seagull was captured.
Hooray! Well done, James.
Up flew the seagull, James paying out the string as it went.
Next one.
He shouted.
Up you go again, earthworm.
Oh, I don't like this at all. It only just missed me. I felt the wind on my back as it came swishing past.
Shh! Whispered James.
Here comes another one.
And so they did it again, and again, and again, and again. And the seagulls kept coming. And James tethered them to the peach stem, one after the other.
100 seagulls.
James shouted, wiping the sweat from his face.
Keep going.
They cried.
Keep going, James.
200 seagulls.
300 seagulls. 400 seagulls.
The sharks, as though sensing they were in danger of losing their prey, were hurling themselves at the peach more furiously than ever. And the peach was sinking lower and lower still in the water.
500 seagulls.
He shouted.
We're lifting.
Somebody shouted.
No, we're not.
I felt it.
Put on one more quick.
Quiet, everybody, quiet. Here's one coming now.
This was the 501st seagull, and the moment that James caught it and tethered it to the peach stem with all the others, the whole enormous peach suddenly began rising up slowly out of the water.
Look out, boys, hold on, here we go.
But then it stopped, and there it hung. It hovered and swayed, but went no higher.
One more will do it.
And now came the big moment. Quickly, the 502nd seagull was caught and harnessed to the stem with all the others.
And then suddenly,
But slowly.
Majestically,
Like some fabulous golden balloon.
with all the seagulls straining at the strings above,
The giant leash
rose up
dripping out of the water,
and began climbing.
Toward the heavens.